Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahadani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic astrology. If you're watching it live, just let me know if you're able to hear my voice properly and you're able to see me. Just comment audio video. Okay, just comment into the live session so that I will be able to know. Are you guys able to hear me properly? Audio video. Okay, just put it like AV. AV. Okay, great. What if D? I didn't get you. Okay, so today we are going to talk. Yes, can hear and see you. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation, Erin. Cosmic Dreams. Yes. So today we are going to talk about. Today we are going to talk about the aspects versus placement. Example, let's say you have Jupiter placed into your first house versus Jupiter aspecting your first house. What is the difference? And which one is powerful? And what it means for your chart. Okay. So whenever we are analyzing a chart, I always believe that placements are powerful than the aspect is a one line answer. Okay, but everything means something. For example, let's say you have Jupiter placed into your, let's say, 10th house, third house, fifth house, anywhere in the chart, versus it is aspecting that house. Placement brings that energy into that house. That live consciousness of planet comes into that house, gets associated with that house, and that house rules that planet. Okay, that rulership can be its own, but it rules it. So whenever we are looking at placements and aspects, we have to, what we are looking at is the sambandha. Sambandha is association of planet. Aspects are the ways planets are associated, along with conjunctions and yoga. Yoga is also the unity, is also union. So whenever a planet is aspecting, it is creating a sambandha. It is establishing a relationship with that house. But when it is placed into that or aspecting that house through these aspects, there are three things we have to look at. First is the nature of that planet, which is aspecting. The other thing is the house that is aspecting with respect to that planet. And third one is the lord of that planet. For example, let's take an example. Jupiter is placed into the first house. So we know what first house is. We know what Jupiter is. And then we have to see how this Jupiter is going to help first house, whether it is going to bless the first house. And if it is going to bless the first house, what are the ways it can bless the first house? Through its wisdom, vision, and all sorts of blessings Jupiter has to bring into the first house. There are certain ways it will improve the first house or bless the first house. When Jupiter is in the first house, you must be knowing it has some special aspects. So it aspects fifth house, seventh house, and ninth house. And The beauty of Jupiter aspect is it is always in trine. So if Jupiter is placed into the water sign, it will it will aspect all the water signs. For example, it's if it is exalted into the Cancer, it will take care of the other two water signs of Scorpio and Pisces. So we are analyzing Jupiter in the first house. But when we say Jupiter in the first house, what it means is it is not only placed into the first house, it is also aspecting the fifth house, seventh house, ninth house. So the interpretation of placement of Jupiter in the first house, it includes the interpretation of aspects of Jupiter on fifth, seventh, and ninth. So the planet, when we are talking about the placement, it has the inherent nature of the aspect thing. And if you're following any kind of a systematic predictive astrology, you will find it has a system which analyze the placements, aspects, conjunctions, yog, exchanges, and dasha. This is the way we look at the chart. This is a one way of looking at the chart. There are so many gifted astrologers. They can just look at your birth time or nakshatra or any one aspect and they can predict about you. They also have a divine guidance and intuition. But we are here to learn about how we can understand aspects versus conjunctions. Not conjunction, aspects versus the placements. So when we are talking about the placement of a planet, the aspect is included into the interpretation of it. For example, let's say when I say Mars in the first house, why am I taking first house? I just want to be consistent with the first house thing, and I don't want you to get distracted by the house nature and miss the point of comparison when we are talking about aspects versus placement. Okay, so we talked about the Jupiter in the first house. Let's talk about Mars in the first house. So when we talk about the Mars in the first house, what we are what we are interpreting is also the Mars fourth aspect on the fourth house, seventh aspect on the seventh house, and the eighth aspect on the eighth house from the first house. So now I have my first house. I know what first house literally means, my physical body, my life, my whole experience into this planet. All my experience in the earth, my life is nothing without my ascendant. So my first house, now I have Mars placed into the first house. So now you will see people saying, oh, when you have Mars in the first house, you are passionate, you have passionate relationships, or you may be uh, very aggressive in nature, and you might have uh, passion in your relationship. You'll bring in passion. Why all these interpretations come is because it is also aspecting the fourth house, seventh house, and eighth house. So when we are talking about planets aspects versus placement, aspects are included into the placement's interpretation, and it is true for all the houses. And for example, here is a secret about the the aspects. Aspects are, for example, let's say you have ninth lord. Let's say you have ninth lord is Jupiter. Now you have to understand your ninth lord has three aspects. So it is a benefic planet, natural benefic planet. Now it is ruling your ninth house. So it is your temporal benefic planet as well. And now the uh, it has multiple aspects. So aspects work like a blessing of that house, messenger to the blessing of that house. For example, let's say my ninth lord is Jupiter, and let's say it is placed into the 10th house or in 11th house and is aspecting the trine from there. So now my bhagya is associated with four houses: the blessing of the ninth lord, the blessing of the higher self, the blessing of the Jupiter is now reaching to so many planets because of the aspects. And this is true for all the houses. For example, let's say your Lagna Lord is Jupiter, or let's say Mars, or any planet with multiple aspects, with special aspects like Saturn, Mars, Jupiter. And now they have so many houses aspected by the Lagna Lord. You will often hear and read about that. Okay, this placement is challenging. If it is aspected by the Bhagya Lord or Jupiter, it 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 removes all the blemishes. Or let's say if it is aspected by the 10th Lord, it gives rise to the career. If it is aspected by the second Lord, it gives you money. If it is aspected by the 11th Lord, it gives you gains, and so on. So aspect brings the blessings of that house to the other houses. It takes the blessings to the house it is aspecting. Similarly, let's say you have a 12th lord, and your 12th lord is, let's say, Saturn. Now the 12th lord, whatever the 12th lord meaning is, we all know the meaning. We are not talking about it today. Okay, if you want to know more about it, you can go and check out my videos as well. And if you're watching this video, you already know what 12th house is. So the 12th house, let's say 12th house is Saturn. Now your 12th lord has three special aspects. And now then you will know how the placement of the lords are getting played out in your chart. I always say this in Gemini chart. The way it is placed in, there is no planet ruling the challenging Dushtana houses with the Multrikon signs of that planet. Beautiful. But similarly, let's say we're talking about the 12th Lord aspect. Let's say it is aspecting your second house or the fourth house. Then it is bringing the energy of the 12th house to that house. This is the most important aspect of the aspect, or the duty of the aspect. It brings that blessings to that house. Okay, but more than that, let's say if your ninth lord is placed in there, even better, right? It also brings in the blessings. It also brings in all kinds of things associated with that house. Another thing about aspects and placement is, first thing we analyze in the chart reading is the placement. Even if you are new to astrology, and let's say you see so many people around you, your friends, relative, they talk about it, there are few things they would definitely know. They would know Sade Sati. They would know Saturn is a very challenging planet. And the other thing they know is Manglik things. Okay, these three things they would definitely know. But when the aspect of a planet is compared with the placement of this planet, that's when the layers of the interpretation comes into the picture. And that's what we discussed at the start of this video. The Jupiter in the first house is great. It has its own interpretation, and the aspects from the first house to the fifth, seventh, nine is included into the placement of the first house. But When Jupiter is in the ninth house, it will aspect the first house. It will still bless the first house, but now it has the blessings of the Lord and the house it is ruling into that chart. And that depends upon your lagna, that depends on your ascendant. So that's why Jupiter in the first house for Cancer as a placement of planet in the house is totally different from Jupiter in the first house for, let's say, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or let's say debilitated Capricorn. It's completely different. You would watch a YouTube video about Jupiter in the first house and you will feel that it's not me. Many a times I read comments when I put video, oh, this doesn't suit me. And um, I like it because now they are getting into the deep uh, analysis of their chart and not just superficial placements. So when you are looking at, let's say, the placement of planet and you're searching for any videos or any kind of astrological material, research report, anything about it, you will find very few times that it has considered for all the ascendants. Okay, so Jupiter in the first house for Aries is different than Taurus to Pisces, everything, right? Similarly, a planet aspecting will also differ. But again, this difference of place, difference of aspect is based on the placements. Okay, so there is one more layer to this, and that is conjunction. And that is, maybe we will take it into some other videos with examples and all kinds of, we will go to the depth of it. But today's topic, let's stick to the today's topic. Today we are talking about this aspect and conjunction thing. So if you have any question around aspects and conjunctions, please put that into the comment section. How many degree is considered as a conjunction? Okay, so you can uh, so the degree of the conjunction, this is an important question. The degree of a conjunction depends upon the degree of your ascendant. Okay, today I will just tell you this much because there is a whole different um, detailing I will have to give you, and I think I have shared that during the Bhavachalit chart. You can go and check that. Okay. Okay, again the same question. Yes. Hello, namaste. Hello, sorry. No, David. Yes, David. Okay, so yes, this was aspects versus conjunctions as much as I could hold grasp and share with you guys. If you want to learn Vedic astrology step by step, join my 33 days Vedic astrology boot camp. Link is in the pinned comment. If you have any question and if you're watching it after some time or after a few days, you can always reach out to me through comments, sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace. Namaste.